because we found an article that kind of walks us through the steps of how to deal with your kids as they're being rejected in life, okay?
Right.
So it sort of covers the gamut from like small kids to older kids. Obviously, we have smaller children. I haven't really had to delve too deep into it. Like I can still use distraction if James is upset about something, but I think that there were some important aspects to this.
Okay, let's dive right in.
Okay, so this is interesting. The first one was teach your children how to respect and empathize with others' feelings. And I think a lot of people think that this is just something innately that we're born with, but I do think there is a lot of teaching that goes on with your parents of how to actually be empathetic and respectful. And the article said something different. It said, you know, empathy is teaching someone to care enough about somebody else's feelings.
Yes.
Respect is caring enough to actually do something about it.
Oh,
so
I love that.
That was interesting. Yes, wasn't that
yes.
good?
And it, you would like to think that we all just are born that way, but we're not.
No.
I mean, we have to be good examples as parents, and you every day you got to keep reinforcing those behaviors.
Right.
Show compassion, show respect.
Yes, yes.
I'm going like this.
No, but it's very true.
Yes.
And reminders of that are also important. The second thing was show them the importance of respecting boundaries. Now, this has been in a lot of places lately. Now, for me, it was on the younger end, like if somebody doesn't want to play with you or somebody doesn't want to give you a hug or that kind of thing. But I think it was it on Daily Blast yesterday? They were talking about how there is a school now that you have to have consent to hug. And they were talking about like, is this too much? Are we going overboard? I always think of it like, obviously really consider the age of your child because it becomes more and more important as they get older. But like to my son, it ain't that deep. You know what I mean? Right now.
Exactly.
But I mean, it's okay to plant those seeds.
Right.
To have a more serious conversation. But that's personal to me with my child, but every child's different.
Every child is different, but it is true. Like we're Italian, we hug and kiss everyone. But you know, I'm telling Caroline and Kate, oh, go hug. You know, this Gabby, my guy friend who was in town. They don't know him well,
right?
And Gabby's like, no, fist pump, like you know. So
it was on the Today
emotionally
Show.
and physically.
It was on the Today Show yesterday. They were roundtabling about that, about boundaries and that kind of thing. So it was different to hear their perspectives too. And I think some of it did rely on the age of their children, but it is an important topic to
absolutely. We all need to respect people's boundaries. Guardrails, guardrails, yes. Okay.
All right, acknowledge that rejection is something everyone experiences. So this is another thing. You would think that, okay, your child sees other people getting rejected, they've been rejected, but still, the more you open up conversation about XYZ, about that it's normal to be rejected, whether it's romantically or with a friend, that is okay. And you know what? Their rejecting you has nothing to do with you. It's more about them.
It's more about them, or like Caroline's first rejection and running for her class office and not getting it. I was like, oh, you're fine, and you gave it a good effort. Now you know to be more prepared in your speech. You know, I just and she shook it off, which is great. But that's
that's very healthy.
Well, that's why I personally don't believe in the everyone deserves a trophy. Because the best lessons of my life were learned after those moments where I lost something or I was rejected or didn't get on a team. It made me dig deeper, try harder. That's just the way I feel personally.
There was a rejection that I received when I was in my early 20s, and it just so happened, I was like a solid 20 pounds overweight, and it just so happened that the picture that they used, like when they announced the winner, was the one they used in the newspaper. So not only, I'm just like,
oh no.
And they put it in the newspaper, and so I cut it out and kept it because I was like, I kind of liked looking at that rejection on my face. I did, because I was like, you know what? It's not rose-colored glasses all the time. Stuff hurts, and it's okay. And that's like a silly. There are people dealing with much bigger rejections. I'm not trying to trivialize it, but I'm just saying that like that was kind of good to have a face with it. Like, oh, like you know, everything doesn't always work out according to plan.
Exactly.
All right. Okay, kids. Need outlets to express their frustrations. So this gave, like if you're an older kid, maybe try to, or you have an older kid, try to get your kids to journal. Because that's a good outlet. If they're younger, give them a piece of paper and a bunch of crayons and tell them to scribble.
I love it. I love it.
So
and just keep talking about it, right?
Keep talking to them.
I know. It's obviously it's one of those things, again, depending on the age of how deep you're really going to go into it, but it's so important that they get it from an early age.
I think the main thing I took from it was just to always have open dialogue with your kids and try to establish that trust that they can talk to you about anything. I don't know, which is probably the hardest thing.
It really is. I love that, Cara. Thank you.